clear that if a school is totally remote and there is no choice to be back, then the FFCRA would apply because the school is going to be considered closed to, obviously it's closed to people attending in person. And so even though the kids are engaging in schoolwork, it's remote. And so the FFCRA, if an employee has that left and needs it, would apply to that situation. What was less clear is what happens when it's either a hybrid or a full back to school. So the presumption now is that if it's a hybrid, the FFCRA leave will cover the days that are remote, but not the days when the school is open for the child to be attending. Now, I don't know what that means. Let's say your normal after school care provider is not operating. So that may be that the employee would still be entitled to that time from the end of the school day until the caregiver would normally be providing that care. And then there's the issue of what happens if a school is fully open. Now, obviously, if they're open, then the presumption is you're not going to need to leave because the kid's going to be in school. But one of the questions was, what happens if a parent chooses to go remote even though the school is open full time? And the sort of the presumption as of this point is that the FFCRA is not going to be available for a parent who chooses to keep a child out of school when the school is open and operating. They can use it until it's used up. So, and actually that was a point raised by the DOL recently. If circumstances change, so let's say in March when school was still in session and this hit, the employee didn't need it because let's say they had someone else available to watch their child and it didn't become an issue. But now it is an issue because that person is no longer available. So starting this school year, they say, well, I know I didn't need it in the spring, but now I do. Yes, they would be entitled to it if they're eligible. And likewise, the law gives employees a period of up until the end of December of this year to use that time. So if I use some of it in the spring and I have time left over and now I need it, then I'm entitled to use it, even if it's for a different reason. So in the spring, maybe it was for my own sickness or somebody's sickness and now it's childcare. That's okay because it covers both. But the answer is you can't say who it is, even if everybody knows who it is, even if it's abundantly obvious who it is. You're not supposed to reveal that information. So the most you can say is that somebody with whom they are presumed to have had contact, either directly or indirectly because you share a kitchen or who knows what, has tested positive or whatever the case might be, and that's as much as you can tell them. I want to make sure that employers are very clear that, there's a lot of discussion about you can just have people sign waivers and then they say, I absolve you of all responsibility and liability for if I get COVID because I came back to work. So that's not really the way it works. And I want to make absolutely certain that employers understand that you can't even ask or request an employee to sign away rights under the Workers' Compensation Act.